Well, here we are again in the major division here in the SSL, and we've got another excellent slate of matches for you here today. Hello, everyone. I'm Metafiction. I am joined here by Summerstood.
Hello there, Meta. Completely agree with you. I mean, there is a top of the table clash with Sao Paulo and Schwarzwalder. Along with that, there are pretty, exciting matches to be played today. So everyone
And
listening to
as
it,
you say, that
everyone listening to it, just sit back, relax, and enjoy. Just enjoy our commentary throughout the match. Over to you, Meta.
without a doubt, it is, as you say, we start out with a real clash of the Titans. Unio Sao Paulo at the top of the table, Schwarzwalder FV, their closest competition. They'll be squaring off in a potential really important match for this title race. And there you see that Sao Paulo very unusual 4-3-3 formation.
Looks like there has been a tactic change from Sao Paulo. I mean, they've been using a three at the back formation since the start of the season. Looks like, I mean, for Schwarzwalder specifically, they've changed their tactic, and that be warranted. I mean, that would be known, and the match has started. Kickoff.
Do know Schwarzwalder, one of the more dangerous attacking sides in the league, has Sao Paulo changed their tactic in an attempt to try and neutralize those attackers. A lot of players up front for SFB, Jihao and Suzuki up front, and Schmidt and Hakkinen just behind. A fairly uneventful start to proceedings here as we pass the first 15. Although here comes Sao Paulo. Mulder, under pressure from Deanne, squares it. Now here's Eilish, back out to Cotswold.
The first throw in for Sao Paulo. Cotswold takes it.
Throws
Pass it stop to the root. Again back to Cotswold. Gainey.
Gagne so close from that header, it clanged off the post. And that free kick headed back out.
An SFP
Pass
counter
from Deanne.
swiftly shoved by Sao Paulo. Exoto. Gainey. Just a miss. Just a miss. It would have been 1-0 for Sao Paulo if it wasn't for the SFE keeper.
A strong save from Saran Satsral, and that corner kick ends up in the keeper's hands.
Kinnan.
Some good passing there from SFV to break the press. That's a 1-2 to Schmidt, but Suzuki was offside.
Another corner for Sao Paulo. But it did not reach the intended target. Still, the ball is with Sao Paulo anyhow. Another floated cross, but Taran Satsral, the SFE keeper, catches it easily.
After a bit of a slow start, things have picked up here in Sao Paulo. And SFV coming forward here, Suzuki holding the ball in midfield. Now Whittington losing out though.
Passing it off to Rubio. Rubio, it's a low pass, but anyhow, ball is still with Sao Paulo. Eilish, but the SFE keeper makes light work of it.
It was a good move from Eilish to dribble around Farah Diane, but couldn't quite find a passing lane, and Saran Satsral scoots it up.
Great work from Aguilera there. He came in clutch. It is moments like these that define victory and loss in a match.
Right, you are. A clutch save there from Aguilera. It was a good run from Schmidt to get through the defense, but Aguilera, the last line of defense there. And again.
And again, two brilliant saves in the matter of say 5 minutes. Anyhow, we see
Just
another
about.
anyhow we see another SFE corner, and looks like it was neutralized. And Sao Paulo are running for a counter. It's with Mulder now. Uh,
Long ball from Hashimoto, but only finds the head of Maxwell. Bit of a scramble for the ball here in midfield. It looks like Sao Paulo has settled with it, though.
Rubio.
Now Rubio on the through ball. Trying to finish from a tight angle, but it's just off the post.
How was that not? How was that not finished? How was that not a Sao Paulo goal? In Mulder, if I'm not wrong, was right in front of the goal. Somehow it was missed.
It was good pressure from the SFV defense to try and put the attacking player off the shot there. And so it remains scoreless as we near halftime.
Intercepted by
Here
and they,
for Wang Jihao.
SFV break the deadlock. It's 1-0 for Schwarzwalder. And who else to score but their prolific striker Wang Xiao.
It was great work from Jihao to close down and win the ball there. Got into a good attacking position and just puts it in the net. A top finish from one of the league's best strikers. Wang Jihao makes it 1-0 to SFB.
Mulder tries an audacious attempt from the outside the penalty box, but the SFP keeper parries it easily.
Deep into added time here in the first half, and SFE coming forward again. Schmidt takes the shot, and it's tipped over again by Aguilera.
Corner for SFP. Schmidt taking it. He directly passes off to Wang Jihao. Passes it off to Suzuki. Passes it off again to Wang Jihao. And SFP should be happy that it did not turn into a goal. Yet another corner again.
And that is going to do it for the first half. It was a bit of a slow start, but things got rolling late on in that first half. Wang Jihao's strike, the difference in this one, as Sao Paulo 0, Schwarzwalder 1 is your score at halftime.
I mean, the best player so far for Sao Paulo has undoubtedly been the goalkeeper, and the match rating, definitely shows that. Weird though that Sao Paulo's XG so far has been more than SFE. Thoughts on that?
Well, there have been some really good chances from Sao Paulo. They just aren't finding the right angle to just put it past Saran Setral. Saran Setral, one of the best keepers in the league. You have to be really crafty, really clever to get one past Saran Setral. And unfortunately for Sao Paulo, they just haven't had an answer so far. So the second half underway here with SFE kicking off. Immediately trying to build through the middle, but losing out on that pass.
SFE throw in. Trying to build it out with the middle. SFE passes it out to Whittington. And a good clutch save from Aguilera.
take nothing away from Aguilera's performance, despite conceding that goal, has been very strong in net for Sao Paulo as well. One of the best goalkeepers in the league in Saran Central going up against an up-and-comer in Aguilera. It's been as advertised. But that moment might have just tipped his balance again as Mulder has equalized for Sao Paulo.
It's 1-1 and it's game on. I mean, right after the second half started, Sao Paulo were looking threatening, and it was a beautiful pass from Cotswold from the right hand side, and Mulder taking no chances.
Well, that is going to be controversial. As you can see there, Mulder might have just been a bit offside when they scored that goal, but it will stand. The score is 1-1.
Moving on with an SFP corner now. Mid taking it. A floated ball. Aguilera catches it anyhow.
It's another free kick for SFV. Hakkinen sending it into the box. It's rebuffed, but Suzuki able to get to it. And SFV trying again from the back. Oh, that intercepted, though. It's De Groot. Here comes De Groot. But only finds Gagne at the far side.
Almost a goal. Imagine the scenes in Sao Paulo. Imagine the scenes in Sao Paulo if that shot were on target.
It would have been something, no doubt. It was a very tight finish. And that shot from Cotswold, and it's redirected in by Zykorn, Delathron, Velstrazen Smith.
And it's 2
Or ZVS if you don't have much time.
Agreed. It's 2-1 to Sao Paulo. Another assist from Cotswold. Another near post finish. Or this time was it far post finish. But anyhow, Sao Paulo are taking the chances right this half. After a frustrating first half from their attackers in the first half, Sao Paulo are making the chances count. It's 2-1.
Without a doubt, they've finally found the way to break through. But will SFV be able to respond? Scheginger carries the ball forward for SFV. Finds the diagonal pass to Suzuki, but it's Jihao! And we are level once again.
It's 2-2. The second half is nothing short of a goal fest. I mean, first Sao Paulo equalizes, then they take a lead. Now Schwarzwalder, SFV equalizes back.
The start of this second half with significantly more juice than the start of the first. It is 2-2 here in Sao Paulo. A great start to this second half, and I don't think we're done yet. Well, they're intercepting that and winning the corner off of the save of Saran Central.
Corner for Sao Paulo. Shimoto takes it. Nothing came out of it at the end.
Hakkinen with the free kick. Floats it into the box. Falls to Maxwell, and Suzuki takes the shot. Tipped over by Aguilera, and it's another corner kick to Black Forest.
Taking it. Putting it off. The far corner. Ball is still with SFP. Right now, Sao Paulo free kick.
It's a flurry of set pieces at either end, and that one headed just wide.
I mean, when you have two teams of such high quality, I mean, it is things like set pieces, things which are practiced in the training grounds that matters a lot.
You said it comes down to discipline and execution in matches like these. When two of the best are up against each other, the finest margins can make such a difference. And intercepting that pass. SFE continuing to pressure, trying to find a way back into the lead here. Wellington back out for Bierman. The group in pursuit, but passes into Schmidt, and then back out again. Whittington now at the top of the box. Had velocity behind that shot, but couldn't quite get the aim right.
First off target for Whittington. But this play shows that neither of the teams are satisfied with a draw. Both are playing for a win. And what a goal! What a goal from Maximiliano! It's a wonder goal from him. And for SFB lead 3-2 in the dying moments of the game.
An absolutely brilliant shot from well outside the goal by Dombrovski Maximiliano. Let's see it again. That one clattered off the bottom of the crossbar and down and in. And an emphatic go-ahead goal for SFE with less than 10 to play. Sao Paulo, though, coming forward, trying to get back on level terms for what will be the third time today. Rubio. Through ball to Gagne. Gagne shoots, an immediate reply.
And it's 3-all. I mean, a true top of the table clash this one. Feast for the eyes for all the neutrals watching this match now. And it's 3-3.
Matches like this are exactly what the SSL is all about. An amazing finish from Gagne there, sending it opposite post. And once again, we are level. We promised a clash of the Titans, and I think this match has really delivered.
The routine stop for the SFE keeper. Let's see. 3 more minutes plus added time left for in this match. Would we see another goal or potentially 2?
I think there's a very high likelihood of at least one more goal. I can't say anything for certain, but here in the SSL, you never can tell. Gagne trying to cross in. Maxwell defends well. Sao Paulo trying again. Gagne back to Eilish. Cotswold. And Cotswold shot at point blank.
An audacious attempt nonetheless. But the SFE keeper stopped it.
Only 2 minutes of added time left, and SFE now on the break. It's Schmidt coming forward. Cotswold tracking back. Jihao trying to find Suzuki, but might have overhit that pass a bit. Maximiliano trying another long-range effort, but this time tipped wide.
That's safe from Aguilera. All it ends up in an SFE corner anyways. Schmidt taking the corner now. But it was defended brilliantly by the Sao Paulo players there.
Dying seconds of this one as Sao Paulo sends it back up the pitch. And that is going to be full time here in Sao Paulo. It was a bit of a slow opening to this one, but the second half very much making up for it. Ultimately, 3-3 your final score, and a great performance from both sides.
And a worthy man of the match performance from Cotswold. I mean, he provided the assists for the first 2 Sao Paulo goals, and he has been playing brilliantly this game, be it attacking or be it in his defensive duties.
Cotswold certainly one of the young players to watch in the SSL. Certainly a lot of hype behind this player, and once again proving that that hype is well placed.
Moving over to the next match. It's Hollywood versus Buenos Aires. What's on this match, Matt?
Well, it's a bit of a mid-table showdown between Hollywood and Buenos Aires. Both of these teams very lethal on their day. Unfortunately, not quite able to put together the consistency that they'd need to launch a real assault higher up the table. I'll be hoping today to try and make that and try and prove that. Apologies, I kind of lost my train of thought when I saw that Hollywood formation. That's certainly I can honestly say I've never seen that before. I mean, it might work, but in any case, both of these teams looking for a win in order to try and establish some of their a little bit more consistency and maybe build a surprise title challenge at this stage in the season.
Wide mispass from the CABA player ultimately leads to a Hollywood throw-in. Again, a free kick for Buenos Aires. But ultimately came nothing out of it from the end. Still, possession is still with Buenos Aires. Thomas Harrison snoops and a clutch save from Walverson. Game, and it goes
Some
to
good passing there from
Buenos Aires.
It was a good sequence of passes there from Buenos Aires to get into position, and that is one of the dangers of this Buenos Aires side, being able to manufacture chances through really precise passing.
It's 1-0. It's 1-0 for Hollywood, and what a goal from Brooks.
Jalen Brooks with a characteristically great finish here. Laid it off to Mulgrain to get into a better position, getting around Harrison and just lashing it into the opposite corner. Well done by Brooks to make it 1-0 to Hollywood.
Certainly did. That was a very tough shot to make. I mean, look at the angle. Was tight chances, and Brooks made them pay for it.
But Ben Harrison getting an instant reply for Buenos Aires. And we are level at 1-1.
I mean, football matches, all it takes is just first goal to be scored, and subsequent goals from either of teams, I mean, pouring.
Now Hollywood find themselves back at square one, but here comes Ali Dia shooting it right into the hands of Kabiru. Hollywood trying to build from the back, ultimately sending it all the way back to Walrison. Now here's Mulgrain. But intercepted.
And it's 2-1. Textbook counter from Buenos Aires. And a wonderful finish
It's a
from
great
Genkal. Was it? Genkal, is it?
Yep. A great finish indeed from Neslan Genkal, and a great run as well. Certainly one of Buenos Aires' most dangerous attacking threats. And Buenos Aires pulling into the lead.
It's 2-2 now.
Well, this match really is hard to pin down. It's a goal off of a corner kick. Martel sent it into Hefeweizen, who was right on top of the goal practically. And again, we are level, 2-2.
Hollywood almost made it 3. I mean, what a free kick from Brooks there. But good stop from the CABA goalkeeper. Now it results in a corner. It was valiantly saved again by Khabiri. Brooks to take the corner again.
Strong challenge by Harrison to free that ball up, and Buenos Aires taking possession here. And that sequence there saw just how important Kabiri is to this team, pulling out some very clutch saves. Might be called into action here again, as here comes Martel squaring it. Close, it goes down in the box. Brooks takes the shot, and it's off, and it's tipped away again by Kabiri.
Best player for the side, Khabiri, at least in this first half.
I'd say just about, although Denkal did score the goal, so certainly some strong performances throughout this Buenos Aires team, in my opinion. Mulgrain nearly lost out, but managed to get it to Brooks. We're less than a minute away from the end of the first half here. Hollywood coming forward. Commentator trying to hit that diagonal pass to Tortellini, and does. Tortellini had Closa in the center, but took it themselves and only got a corner out of it.
Yet another Khabiri save. Now Brooks with the corner. Ball is again with the Brooks. Coverage. And that's the first half, folks. It's Hollywood 2, Buenos Aires 2. What's on the first half, Meta?
Certainly a lot of highlights in that first half. Some really good chances at either end. It's another exciting match so far. I think Nisad Kabiri has been immense for Buenos Aires. Hollywood have had some really dangerous shots, but Kabiri able to keep all but, well, those two out of the net. Certainly going to be very interesting to see how this second half shakes out. Whether these teams continue to be aggressive, or if one tries a little bit more of a withdrawn, cautious approach.
Here it is. Second half starts. The second match of this match day.
Ever since we expanded to 10 teams rather than 8, I'm still getting used to the fact that there are 5 matches in a match day now. I'm certainly not complaining, but it is a bit of an adjustment, for sure.
I agree. Tortellini scores. Or Tortellini is it? My bad. Tortellini scores, and it's 3-2 for Hollywood now. Right after the second half has started, Hollywood, from their set piece play, make Buenos Aires pay for their defensive lacking in defense, and it's 3-2 for Hollywood now.
We've seen firsthand how important set pieces are to the SSL these days, and there's just another example of really well-worked routine from the corner that puts Hollywood back in the lead. And now the ball's over the top, but Closa sends it right into Kabiri.
Another Hollywood corner there. Brooks taking it. Ultimately leads to nothing. Kabiri passes it off to his centre back. Passes it off to the wing back. Runs all the way. Buenos Aires. Can they make it count?
Well, Harrison had a great cross there, and Scott was perfectly positioned, but just couldn't get the angle right on the header.
Another good floating cross.
That cross into the box, handled by Buenos Aires counter, mopped up there by Hollywood, and now Hollywood coming forward again, although trying to take a bit more of a measured approach. They are up a goal. They don't have to take quite as many chances.
A brilliant cross from Ali Dia.
And here's Brooks.
And was ultimately saved by Kabiri.
Hollywood winning the ball again in their defensive third, and now Martel in a dangerous position. But Munoz tracked back well and only concedes the corner. And sent in by Brooks, and ultimately finding Lovrich. Bit of a scramble for it in the box. Snooks has stayed down here, and the ball put out to deal with the injury. It looks like Snooks will play on, though. And the far post cross. Martel in the right position, but heads over the bar. The referee might have just blown for a penalty there, is going to check with VAR. And it is indeed given. Hollywood with a chance to make it 4-2. Martel from the spot, but it's saved by Kabiri.
Pretty much this entire match. I mean, agreed that the Buenos Aires team have scored 2 goals, but he has been their best player so far.
Kabiri once again making a clutch stop, this time against the penalty. Will it be enough to see Buenos Aires back into this match, though?
Again, a counter attack from Hollywood to Ali Dia. Kabiri saves it again.
A lesser goalkeeper, this might be a little bit uglier of a scoreline, as Hollywood once again getting into a dangerous position, and once again Kabiri called into
Another
action.
Hollywood corner here.
There's certainly been a lot of set pieces in this one.
But from the set,
Stats are saying 8 corners apiece so far.
Hollywood have been the more potent threat in the attack, at least since the second half has started. It is up to the Buenos Aires players, at least their attackers now, to at least win a point in this match. But Hollywood are in no way or in the mood to allow that.
Without a doubt, Hollywood have had their foot on the gas pedal from the moment the whistle blew, but that is going to slow them down quite a bit as Gerard Klose forced off via injury. It might not matter at this late stage, but that's still a huge loss. does look like time is about to expire, pending this last Buenos Aires free kick. Sent into the box. Martel heads it away. Munoz still with it, though. But ultimately scrambled away, and that is going to be it. Hollywood FC managing to hold on to beat Buenos Aires 3-2.
Clinical performance from Hollywood, at least the attacking, but ultimately it was Khabiri's outstanding efforts in the goal that has earned him a worthy player of the match award.
You absolutely said it. Hollywood with a bevy of chances in that second half. And as I said, the scoreline might have been a lot heavier favored in Hollywood's direction if it hadn't been for some really good saves from Kabiri,
Agreed.
including a penalty save.
Definitely agreed. Moving on to our third match of the day. It's Shanghai versus the team from Mexico, Tenochtitlan. How do you exactly pronounce this though?
Truth be told, I'm a little unclear. It's either Tenochtitlan or Tenochtitlan. I find myself alternating. Unfortunately, it's not
Agreed.
really my native language.
And it's the battle of the expansion teams again, this time at Shanghai. Thoughts on this match? Meta?
Well, we've seen both of these sides play quite a few matches so far. Tenochtitlan have coped well. Shanghai not quite as much, but both sides certainly having flashes of brilliance. And these two actually met on match day one, and it was a fairly exciting and even match. So I'm expecting a lot of,
Agreed.
well,
And
basically a
don't
lot of
forget that
excitement from this
Shanghai
one.
have just come off beating Tokyo 3-1 in the SSL Cup quarterfinals yesterday. So you never know.
It's a defeat I'm all too painfully aware, but Tenochtitlan suffering an early blow as Bailey Deali forced off from injury within moments of starting the match. It's going to be a huge loss for Tenochtitlan.
Helvetia running on the right hand side. Tries to hit a floated pass to Johnson, but was successfully intercepted by the Tenochtitlan players.
This is the side from Mexico City coming forward. Lavere out to Pinkman. Cross goes in from Pinkman, but Volta heads it over. They're going to have a lot of work to do, Tenochtitlan, if they're going to make up for the loss of Deali, who is chasing that 100 goal mark for their career.
So in for Tenochtitlan. Pinkman passes it off to Labert. Hits in a floated cross and it's a goal. So
Well, if this stands, this would be a bit of a collector's item. The super sub scoring a goal for Tenochtitlan, but it will not count. Let's look at it again. And just barely offside is the super sub. Free kick from deep finds Guerrero Strongine. Super sub tries again, and this time I think super sub's goal is gonna count.
and it's 1-0 to the team from Mexico. I mean, they've been dominating the proceedings ever since pretty much this entire half, to be honest. And the goal from the super sub is just the icing on the cake to their dominance in this first half.
Tenochtitlan won their initial meeting on match day 1 goal to nil. that is the scoreline here at the moment. 30 minutes gone in the first half. The ball parried into the path of Armaros, and Volta taking the shot, but Takechi able to block it behind.
Another corner for Tenochtitlan. It was safely parried off by the Shanghai players.
Vecchio intercepting that pass, and now Shanghai trying to break forward, but that pass from Voda not quite online. Even nearly losing out though. McGarry hits it over the top for Volta. Volta squaring it, and the super sub in position for a second, or it might have been headed for Bailey. Either way, it went over the bar.
A free kick. Almost a goal for Hannibal Amaros. Almost.
It's been one-way traffic in this first half. All of the chances have gone Tenochtitlan's way. Shanghai unable to create anything, although that might be changing here. Del Vecchio squares it for Hohenhan as soon as I say that.
Is that an offside? The defenders sure are appealing for one.
We're looking at it and will rule it out. No goal. And you see there on the replay, Hohenhan well offside. And so Shanghai's equalizer does not count.
It's 2-0.
I believe that one will count though.
What a fitting response from Tenochtitlan. What a pass from Volta.
Bailey did really well to get into position for that pass from Volta. Bailey actually scoring the first goal in Tenochtitlan history on Matchday 1, and once again scoring here against Shanghai. And so at the break, Tenochtitlan absolutely dominant in this one. 2-0 the score at halftime. What are your thoughts on this one, Summer?
As far as attacking goes, it's been one-way traffic from Tenochtitlan. At least if you exclude the offside attempt from Hohenhan of Shanghai Dragons. But it's pretty much been one-way traffic from Tenochtitlan in this first half. Shanghai, at least the attackers of Shanghai have to do real work in the second half if they want to win, salvage any points from this fixture in the second half.
Certainly an uphill battle for the Chinese outfit, but the second half has begun.
Just look at the XG so far. It's 0.08 for Shanghai Dragons. Comparing it with 1.56 for Tenochtitlan. That sums up the story of the Shanghai attackers this match so far.
Indeed it has, although something might be brewing here, or it looked like it was. Ford firing just wide. Might have been their best chance so far. Johnson up the far wing. Ford now lifting it into the box, and it's headed just over. Shanghai starting to get some shots toward the goal. Not quite on target yet, but are they waking up? Or is it too little too late?
It's never too little too late in football, at least. And here comes Ohanan. And a brilliant slip Calvin ball there.
That shot had some real velocity behind it. Ball doing well to get over and hold on to it.
And it's the dying stages of the game.
Time
Looks like, oh, it's a corner for Shanghai now. Can they make anything out of it? Moved up, Hutchinson Jr. Ultimately, it was moved off from Volta, and that's it. What's on your match?
Well, a professional job there from Tenochtitlan. 2-0 the final score. Did their business in the first half and held on to the lead resolutely through the second.
I mean, with their star striker, Bailey Diali, getting injured in the first half itself, in the first minutes of the game itself, it looked like there could be some sort of an issue for the Tenochtitlan attackers. But in the end, they dominated the proceedings and a worthy man of the match, player of the match performance for Volta there.
Without a doubt, a deserved 2-0 victory for Tenochtitlan. And we now move on to our next match in Barcelona, where CF Catalonia takes on AC Romana.
What's on this fixture then, man?
Well, both of these teams have had a bit of a disappointing season so far. Catalonia, of course, not having, if memory serves, finishing last at the end of last season, although they have, as you see there, won their last two. Meanwhile, Romana on a bit of an upswing themselves, unbeaten in 3. Still both of them at the bottom end of the standings there. Romana in 7th, Catalonia in 9th. Title perhaps out of the picture for both sides, but a win would do wonders for morale, if nothing else.
And here we go then. Romana starting the proceedings.
Nunez gets it up to Poggio, but Bamford able to stop that move.
To Meta, what are your thoughts on this major season so far?
Well, it has been a fairly strong season overall. I think these two new expansion sides, Shanghai and Tenochtitlan, have been really good value for the SSL. They've really added a lot, I think, and it's really raised the competition level of the other teams as well.
Corner. Ultimately, nothing came out of it for Catalonia there.
Catalonia trying to break there, but Nunez snuffs it out, and Poggio winning another corner on the long shot.
Romana taking the corner. Rio, Emerson, and it's a goal. It's 1-0 for AC Romana. What a shot from Emerson. Right just outside the penalty box. Just inside the penalty box, was it? But a brilliant shot nonetheless.
It did take a bit of a deflection there off of Detrella, it looked like, but it was on target nonetheless, and they all count the same. So it's Catalonia 0, Romana 1.
Catalonia attempting the same thing. But shot just off target. Yes. passing it off to Pedro. It was blocked by the Catalonia players. Again, though, the ball is still with Romana players.
And he sprays it out wide to Hoppany. And he tries to lay it off for a teammate inside, but Nelson, quick to it, makes the run, and it's passed in to Trey Cortista. If it's onside, it would be an equalizer for Catalonia.
Players sure are appealing for an offside. The goal is disallowed. Tough luck for Catalonia there. The brilliant build-up by the Catalonia players in this attack. They continue to do so. Who knows? They might score more goals here.
It is an encouraging sign. It was a great run by Cortista, but the timing just not right. Now inside to Pliskin.
Just a miss from Trey Cortista there.
Ball won by Cortista, and now Catalonia coming forward again just after 30 minutes. Cross goes in, but Cronus able to hold on to it.
Ball back with Catalonia. Coming over. Running on the left hand side. Ball finds Nelson. And a brilliant stop from Flip there. Otherwise, it would surely have been the first goal Catalonia.
Corner kick to Catalonia. Mia Dana forcing another corner kick. And Catalonia continuing to press this Romana defense from the set pieces. Pliskin trying again at the edge of the box, but this time Blackman able to get to it.
Catalonia still in the possession of the ball. Pliskin, Fry. Idama tries a shot, but ultimately Cronus saves it. Easy work for the goalkeeper there.
Muller forward to Emerson. Emerson out wide, under pressure from Pliskin, but back into Nunez. And Pedro takes a shot, and it clatters behind for a corner.
Audio taking it. In an audacious attempt from nearly 35 yards out by Pedro. And ultimately it was off target.
Catalonia trying to build again, nearly losing out, but Cortista able to get it to Varnson. Now Varnson at the end line, and Miedema just missing somehow.
That was a pretty tight angle, to be honest. And it's half time. Romana just leading Catalonia by that one goal scored by Rigby Emerson. Thoughts on the first half?
Well, certainly a lot to think about in that first half. Romana did get the goal, but Catalonia with some really good chances of their own. That disallowed goal from Trey Cortista would have really come in handy right about now, but as it stands, I think this is kind of an even match. I think whoever gets the next goal has the best chance of winning this one.
Definitely agree with you there. Even if you looked at the XG, Catalonia have the significantly higher XG than Romana right now. And on we go with the second half.
Wagner and Bonito making their way onto the pitch for Catalunya, the substitutes. We'll have to see how they change this match. Poggio with the free kick, and Twinkle Toes pushes it behind.
It's a corner for AZ Romana. Nunez taking the corner. Floated cross after a long time. Not successfully seals it, but it's Santori again. But ultimately it will be a throw-in for Romana.
Wagner nearly losing the ball and putting his team in a dangerous position. Thankfully it came to nothing, but that's the sort of mental lapse you really can't get away with at this level. Santori in to Rigby Emerson, and that's 2 for Romana.
And the second goal in the match for Rigby Emerson there. Beautiful attacking piece over there, and a beautiful pass from Santori too. All Emerson had to do in the end was just put it on target. There you go. It's 2-0 for Romana.
And put it on target they did. That is a huge goal at this stage in the match for Romana. Now with a 2-goal lead, can they hold on, or will Catalunya find another breakthrough? It's a through ball to Poggio, and from distance, Gastone Poggio makes it 3 in short order.
Emerson, Rigby Emerson, again involving himself with the proceedings, this time an assist for him.
It was a great job to pick out the pass. Poggio putting the finish above the dive of Twinkle Toes. That's the sort of experience that Romana employs Poggio for, and it's really paid off today. And John turns under pressure from 2 Catalunya defenders. A strong challenge from Camanova wins the ball away.
Catalunya with the possession now. Camanova bombing on the left hand side. Eyes in a floated cross, and ultimately, this one was offside. Nonetheless, it was a pretty good save from Kronos there.
Summer, if you're a Catalunya player, what would be going through your mind right now as we have about 25 minutes to play and are down 3 goals?
Definitely we need to score a goal then. I mean, definitely a goal. I mean, as many people say, 2-0 is a 2-goal lead is the most dangerous in football. I mean, at least the 2-goal lead is catchable. Better than a 3-goal lead at least.
Certainly a fair point. Even 1 goal at this stage could still give Catalunya a lifeline, but their time is rapidly running out here. Batista's pass intercepted by Poggio, and now Romana coming forward again. Well, that pass was poor, and Bonito, cool as you like, making Romana pay, and there is that lifeline perhaps.
Solid interception from Bonito there. The cheeky dink over the keeper. And this opens the scoring up for Catalunya. But is it too little too late? Perhaps Catalunya launch a counter from here, salvaging at least a point from this match.
Well, it was a bit of a poor pass back from Pedrillo, but was under pressure from Trey Cortista. Might be a little bit excusable. Still, though, great heads-up awareness by Bonito to get onto that one.
Difficult toes, taking no risk there, simply catching the ball, and the ball is in possession of with the Catalonia players now.
Emerson carrying it forward on a hat trick, but can't finish it. Sends it opposite post, but it goes just wide.
Catalonia players desperately trying for something to happen here. They're attacking end, and it's 2-3. Ben Nelson scores the second goal of for Catalonia here. This match is not over, folks.
And all of a sudden, Catalonia need just one goal to even this up. It's a great strike from Nelson just inside the box. And all of a sudden, it's 2-3. But will they have enough time for a third? It doesn't look like it.
Certainly doesn't. And it's full time. Romana 3, Catalonia 2. With a brilliant second half, at least sort of a comeback from Catalonia after the 75th minute or so. But in the end, it was ultimately too little too late for them. Thoughts on the game?
Well, as you say, it was a spirited fight back from Catalonia. They went down 3-0 off of that Gastone Poggio goal, and of course the brace from Rigby Emerson, who is your player of the match, by the way. They did well in the late stages to pull back to almost to even, but in the end, they just couldn't complete the comeback. Still, a lot of positives to take from that for both sides.
Definitely agree with you there. And as you said, Rigby Emerson, a worthy player of the match. I mean, he was involved each and every one of the Romana goals scored today, scoring 2 and assisting 1. There you go then. 4 games out of the 5 over, and all that remains in this match day is the last game, Reykjavik versus Tokyo. Thoughts on this match for you? Meta?
Well, these two teams have no love lost for one another. So many times, these have been some of the most interesting matches in a given match day. Reykjavik and Tokyo certainly have a habit of showing down against one another when the stakes are highest. Reykjavik, the reigning champions, are on a real tear, as you can see there, winning 5 straight. Meanwhile, Tokyo starting to fall victim to some of that inconsistency that has plagued them many a season. This could be a matter of one team staying in the title race and the other potentially falling out of it. A lot at stake here in this match.
Here we go.
Super Hoops up the near wing. And that cross headed over the bar.
First corner of the game for Tokyo. Passes it off to Lee, to Yun. And ultimately, it was just off target. Oh, it was skipped off by the goalkeeper there. Another corner.
Reykjavik building through the middle. Here's Del Pirlo. Recently did pass 100 career goals. Still looking to add to their tally. But here's Maldonado in the meantime. And that shot from Neymarinho finds its way in.
And it's 1-0 for Reykjavik after just 11 minutes of play. I mean, Reykjavik have just been passing brilliantly in the positions half, and Neymarinho just scoring that goal essentially shows off the attacking caliber Reykjavik have. Last season's champions were they.
It was a very tight window that Neymarinho finished into, an excellently placed shot, and that's good enough to give Reykjavik United the early advantage. Coming forward again, but Gaisberg with a very speculative effort.
Corner coming up for Tokyo. Greer taking it. Short block. Possession now shifted hands to Reykjavik, or building off from the back from their centre halves. Tentacles. This is about to Gainsbourg to Neymarinho. Ultimately, it was an offside. And Nico Rashford the second.
It certainly looked like a dangerous move brewing for Reykjavik, but they do have another one on the way here as Neymarinho cuts it back and Gaisberg just wide.
Bello. Ultimately, nothing came of the attack in the end. Another Tokyo corner.
It will be a corner kick, though, to Tokyo.
The comfortable save there for Ball Junior.
Del Pirlo got into a very dangerous position there, but Rivest was able to stop it. Still, though, you look at that XG chart and a flurry of chances so far from Reykjavik, who have been on the front foot pretty much this entire match.
Tokyo intercepting the pass. Dello passes it off to Super Hoops. Tries to make a run on the right hand side of the pitch. Sends in a floated cross. And ultimately, Wall Jr. saves it easily. Makes light work of it.
Reykjavik with a deep throw here at the end of the first half. Urkel with it, carries it into the box. A good block, and ultimately sent clear. Ibrahimovic, though, flicking it on to nobody.
There we go. It's the end of the first half, and Reykjavik lead by 1-0. What's on the first half there, Meta?
Well, it's been a familiar story so far. Reykjavik United absolutely dominant. Tokyo haven't really had any chances apart from set pieces. Certainly a lot to improve on in the second half. And as for Reykjavik, they will likely be looking for an insurance goal because they know all too well that you cannot count out Tokyo in matches like this. Adamo hits it forward to Greer. Switching play to Super Hoops. Coming inside. And the shot there from Lee tipped over for a corner.
That was a pretty good build up from Tokyo there. Switching sides. Ultimately resulting in a Tokyo corner there. Greer passing it off to Lee. Greer still holding the ball. And another corner chance. The Tokyo.
Tokyo coming out swinging in this second half with two of their best chances of the match so far. But it's a throw into Reykjavik at the other end. Urkel trying to pass on to Shaheen, but now, well, it looked like a potential break, but instead, well, as soon as I say that, Tokyo can't quite get anything going though.
Tentacles just bombing on the left hand side. But is that an offside? Might just have been fractionally offside there. Tokyo players certainly think so. He's going off for a VAR review. But ultimately, the goal is awarded. Shaheen ultimately scores his goal. Mm,
Well, Tokyo trying to counter, but Reykjavik countering the counter almost. And we're able to put the ball away. And there you see that yellow line is where Shaheen was at the moment the ball was struck. Certainly onside, and so Reykjavik double their advantage, 2-0.
Looks like it's another counter from Reykjavik here. Geisberg. Sends in a pass to Maldonado. But ultimately, it was blocked out by the Tokyo players.
Tokyo have been largely ineffective from their chances all match, really only threatening from set piece opportunities. Reykjavik have done a really good job of shutting down this dynamic Tokyo attack and really making the most of their own chances.
Weirdly enough, both Tokyo and Reykjavik have had the same amount of shots taken this match, so far at least. Reykjavik have been more clinical. And that shows in the scoreline there.
It's a testament to the really strong finishing ability that Reykjavik have had for the last several seasons. It's a real murderer's row up front for them.
Another throw in here for Reykjavik. Tentacles. It was ultimately saved by the Tokyo goalkeeper.
And as time ticks down, it looks like Reykjavik have this one well in hand. A strong performance by them, and they look likely to take all 3 points. Though Tokyo do come forward here. Yun getting around Scarpetta, shooting, but it's right at wall. And nothing comes of that move. And that is it here in Iceland. Reykjavik with a 2-0 win over Tokyo SC, putting themselves back in the title conversation. Stephen Urkel deservedly player of the match for their contribution in midfield.
Ultimately, all that came, all the difference in this match was the attacking unit. Reykjavik, I mean, both the teams nearly had the same amount of shots on target. On goal, but the amount of shots on target had Reykjavik scoring 2 goals.
It just goes to show how important finishing is in this league. And here we see a recap of the results as well as the current standings. What results stood out the most to you, Summer?
The 3-3 draw of Sao Paulo and SFE was my pick of the lot today. I mean, even though the first half was very stale, the second half more than made up for that game. And it was a true top of the table clash.
I tend to agree with that. Certainly one of the most exciting matches we've seen all season. And Sao Paulo able to maintain their unbeaten record. No losses on the season, only 2 draws, the rest wins. And it's opened the door for Reykjavik to come back in. And Sao Paulo fans will have bad memories of that happening last season, ultimately unable to seal the title. They'll be hoping that history doesn't repeat itself this season.
Even the Hollywood versus CABA, the 3-2, and Catalonia versus Romana. Even those two games were also goal fests. Ultimately, it was a pretty good match day. Wouldn't you agree?
I'd say so as well. Another excellent set of matches in the books, and honestly, it's going to be a very intriguing title run in. Once again, Sao Paulo still in the lead there by 6 points over Reykjavik. Gonna have to see how that unfolds, but that'll do it for us here today. Thank you so much for joining us. And Summer, thank you for joining me on this cast.
Pleasure there. Pleasure there, Meta.
Well, thank you so much for joining us again. Until next time, on behalf of Summerstood, this has been Metafiction. Take care.